Today I want to talk to you about real estate market expansion. This is a topic that is very attractive to me in a way that I've been hearing a lot about what's happening with the real estate market. Is the real estate market going to crash? Is the real estate market is gonna continue to grow, or is it gonna stay flat? So in today's video, I'm briefly gonna talk to you about it, so stay tuned for that. Welcome back, everyone. So the only request that I have is that if you find some value in this video, you click the subscribe button and you like the video and you share it with your people that you know, because I believe that they will get some value out of this video today. So with that being said, is the real estate market going to crash, or what is it that's happening? And this message is really geared towards my fellow realtors. I want to talk to all of you because there's a lot of uncertainty from the market, what's happening in the real estate market, what's happening in the economy, what's happening in the stock market, and how is that all aligning with what's happening in the real estate market. Now, everything that I'm saying to you, this is just my own way of seeing things. This is just based on data that I collected, and then this is just based on my own personal assessment of where I think the market is going to be heading. But as the real estate market continues to shift, we're going to have what is called a market share expansion. Now, what does that mean? A market share expansion is simply meaning that as we continue to see lower transactions, and as we continue to see interest rates go up, and as we continue to see buyers keep pulling back, the inventory is going to continue to pile up. So for all of you realtors out there that are thinking like, man, this is the end of the world. I don't know what's going to happen. How am I going to get my business? Not all of you, because there's some realtors. I know a lot of realtors. I heard of a realtor who closed 700 units just this year alone. 700 units. So that means that it can be done. Now, the only question is, how do you do that? Or what can I do to do that? So market share expansion just means that there's going to be an expansion on how much market share, how much you as a realtor, you can grab for your own business. Meaning that if I'm a realtor, and if last year I closed, let's just say 30 units, I closed 30 units, this year and next year alone, I'm going to have the possibility of potentially not closing more. Maybe I'll stay the same, but heading into 2024, maybe I'll have the possibility of expanding that to even double that. So I can potentially close anywhere to 50 to 60 units. Now, how does that happen if the economy does not seem to be doing so well? Well, it's how you market yourself, how you throw yourself out there to the community. Are you making your phone calls? Again, this video at the beginning, I said this was going to be geared towards my fellow realtors, because there's a lot of fellow realtors that got into the business into early 2020, early 2021, and they thought that, man, this is it. I can just market a house and it's going to sell on its own. Yeah, that's what happened during those times. But today, complete different story. If you're a realtor, you know that you have to market the house yourself. You need to be able to market it in a way that is very strategically, that you're gearing that market where you're feeding the house. Meaning that if you have a potential house that, let's just say, it needs a little bit of work, it needs a little bit of repairs, nothing wrong with, the foundation or the plumbing. It just needs a little bit of work, cosmetic. It might need a little bit of painting. It might need a little bit of doorknobs, maybe a new door. You know that house is going to be geared towards a flipper, or maybe an investor, someone that wants to flip the house, put about $10, $15, $20,000 in the house, maybe go ahead and sell it right back, or maybe put a little bit of work. And then with the rental market being the way that it is right now, there's a possibility that you can potentially, let's just say that your mortgage is $2,000, rent it out for $2,400. You get all of your money back as the years go by. This is another thing that I want to talk to you about as well. And you don't have to be a realtor to understand this, but real estate, it's a long-term game. It comes very slow. It's not a get rich quick. This is not real estate. If you had that impression about real estate, that's what it was, I come in and I make my money like that, and then I could just, sell a bunch of homes, or I could just buy a house today and then tomorrow I make 100% of my money, you're in the wrong game. And don't take it from me. Take it from the big guys, from the Grant Cardones, from the Robert Kiyosakis, all of the guys that are big time in real estate. Those are the guys that will always tell you real estate, it's a long-term game. Even Donald Trump will actually tell you that real estate is a long-term game. But marketing yourself, marketing the house is how you're going to be able to make that transaction. Because again, as I was saying at the beginning, there was a lot of realtors that got into the business, that got into the game very early in 2020, 2021. And all you had to do was just put it on the MLS, put it up for sale, and you were going to get about 20 to 30 offers, $40,000 to $50,000 over asking. You said, I'm the greatest salesman in the world. I made it. This is it. This is my life. And now what's happening is that you're no longer seeing that. Those 20,000, 30,000 over asking, those 40 to 50 offers coming in for a house, they're gone. That's a business from 6 months ago. That was sold through 2020. That was sold 2021. 2022, different ball game. 2023, different ball game. 2024, different ball game. So how you strategize from now moving forward is going to be very crucial. And that's what I'm here to talk to you about, because it's about grabbing that market share. Again, for my fellow realtors, I make my phone calls in the morning. 9 to 12 is the time that I put myself on the phones and just talk to people. It's just about building relationships, because again, those relationships that you build today, it's when I call them, I'm not expecting them to tell me, you know what? Yeah, I've actually been thinking about selling my house. I want to sell it tomorrow. That's not the way it works. It's a long-term relationship. You need to get into their brain. What do they like? Are they married? Do they have kids? It's like if you would with your brother, your sister, your mom, your dad. Perhaps not to that extent, but somewhat to that level where you are creating that long-term relationships. Because 7 out of 10 or 8 out of 10, I forgot the name, when I call somebody and I tell them, I introduce myself to who I am, they always say to me, well, I have a business, I have a friend in a business. And most of them are actually referred by a friend, meaning that they had a relationship with a realtor. That relationship started somewhere, somehow. And it starts with you. It starts with how you respond to those calls, how you perceive those phone calls. Is it a relationship, or are you just looking to make some money out of it? I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with making the money out of it. That is the whole goal of it. But ultimately, what you want to build is just that relationship with that individual, so that you can therefore, create that relationship. By the way, can you guys see my t-shirt? I cash flow. I'm just making a comment because I can see right here from the mirror, and I can continue to see the white letters, and I just, cash flow. It's a cool shirt that I got from Mr. Grant Cardone in one of the events, Real Estate World Summit, I think it was called. I attended it last year. I bought the shirt $20, but anyways, hope you like it. Anyways, back to what I was saying. It's about the relationship. Another interesting phenomenon that I want to talk to you about is, perhaps you may know it, perhaps you may not, but it's about just the home appreciation that we've been seeing during the early 2020s, during the early 2021s. You saw that there was a lot of appreciation happening in homes. In some markets, we even saw that 40 to 50% appreciation. Appreciation simply means, how much value it just continued to grow. If a house was worth $300,000, it just grew to $350,000. 450,000. That's an increase of 50%. But it's interesting how the appreciation just continued to go up, right? Obviously, low inventory, low interest rates, and just a high demand for real estate. It was the perfect storm. It was exactly what you needed to create those values that just continue to increase. The home prices, the demand, the low interest rates, and everything that you saw, it completely makes sense to why real estate just continued to go up. So it was no accident, it was no mistake. And then again, you flip that chart. Now with interest rates going up and inventory continuing to go up, it's just interesting. It's interesting if you pay attention how the real estate market continues to hold its value. It's up there. Yes, you might see a little bit of price decreases here and there, but ultimately, that is because some of the realtors actually as well are not doing a due diligent job and telling their sellers, Mr. Seller, this price is actually worth $500,000 and you want to sell it for $550,000. I think that we're not going to be able to get that. Now, I understand that some sellers, because I've dealt with them They say, doesn't matter. I want to get $550,000. My house is actually worth $600,000. They will tell me when I do the numbers. The house is probably worth about $490,000, maybe $500,000. But in their head is how much money they actually put into the house, how much money they actually went into, perhaps putting up a pool, renovating the kitchen, maybe doing some flooring. By the way, guys, if you do all of that, let's just say that you put $50,000 of just renovations in the house, and if your house is worth $450,000, and if you think your house is worth $450,000 just because you put those $50,000 in it, I have to break it to you, but that's not the way it works. The way it works is how much inventory, how much properties have been selling around the house, around the neighborhood that are very similar to yours. And if your house has more upgrades than the other one, of course you're going to get a little bit of appreciation. If that one sold for $450,000, maybe you can get $460,000, but you're not going to get every single penny that you invested into the house. It goes based on supply and demand and the condition of the house, the location of the house. There's a lot of things that go into place that affect either negatively or positively in the prices. But back to my point, now that we're seeing interest rates continue to go up, inventory continues to go up, and home prices continue to stabilize, it is just very interesting how the market just continues to play itself. Now, where we are right now is what we call a normalized market. The market is normalizing itself. So I know that there's a lot of things going on out there where, maybe the house market is going to crash. Leave it up to you. It's up to debate. It's up to debate because you have to do your due diligence and understand not just what's happening in the real estate market, but you have to be able to step back and understand what is happening in the economy itself, in the stock market. What is the bond yield looking like? What is the 10-year treasury yield looking like? What is the index looking like for house affordability? The job reports, how many people are being let go of from the employees, from the employers. You have to consider all of those numbers, and then from that, you have to be able to project. National Association of Realtors actually has made a report, a prediction, a forecast is what it's called, of homes for next year to be for this year actually, right around 5.3 million units sold this year. Guys and ladies, that is still an incredible, very high number that you're going to continue to see. So what that's going to do is going to stabilize the market. Now, will the economy crash? Will the market crash? Because the real estate market, it's a very, very big part of the economy here in our country, the United States. But will the economy crash? Because if the economy crashes, that means they're dragging down the real estate market with it. There's no question about that. Because if Subway, if Tesla, if McDonald's, if Walmart, Amazon, and all of these big giants are letting some other people go, it's going to ripple down the effect. You're not going to be able to see it. You're not going to be able to feel it until it's actually happening for you to really understand what is happening. So, will the real estate market crash? That is really up to you for debate. My point to this is that at the beginning of the video, I said that this video was directed, it was geared towards realtors, because most realtors that got into the business very early into the industry, they thought about making easy money. That's what we like to call it, easy money. So most realtors, they got into the game in the early 2020s, 2021s, and they thought it was easy money. Now, you're starting to see who's actually surviving, not just surviving, but actually thriving in the business. Because again, I go back, it's about the relationship. It's about making that phone call, picking up the phone, being rejected left and right. And it's okay. But you're looking for that individual that is going to give you that relationship, that is going to invite you. But once you do that, it's about how do you nurture the relationship? Do you send out weekly emails? Do you send out bi-weekly emails? Do you give them a call during their birthdays? Do you collect that information? Do you give them a thank you card after you get on the phone with them? Do you send them a thank you note with your business card on it? Do you send them an email, a video, just like I'm recording with you? That's what I do with the emails that I get. I send them a video like, hey, this is Marcelino, and I'm just goofy about it. But you know what? That is what's gonna break the ice. It's gonna make them feel perhaps maybe a little bit uncomfortable, but you want it to be uncomfortable in order for you to understand that that's what it's going to take to build that relationship even deeper and stronger. So it's about building that relationship that is going to get you that transaction later down the year. You're going to be able to help out that family. And with that, another report that I was going to talk to you about is that most people that are getting into the market right now are typically in their 30s, mid 30s. You're not seeing the typical 20-year-old, 25-year-old that was getting into the market in the early 2007, 2008 market when loans were given out left and right. If you had a dog, here's a loan for you. If you have a cat, here's a loan for you. You have an uncle, you have an aunt, great. Here's a loan for you. That business is no longer here. Now the mortgage industry is being regulated to the T. So that is another reason why the buyers that are out there right now are very well qualified. I have some of them actually at the moment that have called me and said, you know what, I'm gonna wait until it's the right time for me. And that makes sense for them because maybe at that time when the housing market was just going up and up and up, and if you're a realtor, you were calling, hey, you gotta sell right now before it continues to go up. You were in the wrong business. That was the wrong approach. You know, hey, you better buy right now because it's gonna go up. Hey, you're a seller, you know, sell right now because this is the market. Maybe at that time, you know, for the seller, it made sense, right? But everybody's situation is different. Everybody is very different. Now, some of the sellers, they're saying, I don't care if it went down 10% in value. I'm ready to sell. Why? Because I'm ready to go to where my next move is gonna take me. The buyer is saying, I'm ready because now the interest rates for me, even though it went higher, for me, it makes sense to do it right now. Why? Because prices have stabilized and then I can refinance my house, take out some of the money out so that therefore I can go buy another property at the interest rates that I wanted to, at the price that I wanted to, because I'm not worried about the interest rate because later on I can go ahead and refinance. Those are the buyers that are getting into the market right now. And there's a lot of investors still out there collecting properties. You know, that continues to happen no matter what. So with that being said, the market expansion for realtors, it's up for grabs right now. It's going to be huge within the next couple months, couple years. If you are able to build that relationship, to continue to make your phone calls, to continue to be in touch with those individuals that you talk to every single day, nurturing that relationship, talking to them, giving them value, send them a weekly email, send them a bi-weekly email. You know, just sending them a video of valuable content. You know, that's what I do. My conversations are not always, are you ready to buy or sell? You know, they're more like, hey, you know, I just found this article. Here it goes. You know, I want to share that with you. May you find value in it. So why? Because if I see that it gave me value, I'm hoping that it's going to give them value too. And that's the purpose of just being in relationship with your clients. So anyways, I hope that serves you. As I was saying, the market is going to rebound. Even if the market continues to go down and it continues to go even further down, the market is going to rebound 100% of the time, every single time, no matter what. So don't let the negativity influence your decision making into whether should I buy a house, should I sell my house? You know, I'm never going to buy a house. Don't let that negativity, you know, get you. One of my things, lastly, I leave you with this, is that if it makes sense for you to buy it, go ahead and do it. You know, I always talk about if you are in step number 1 and you want to make step number 6, step number 6 is buying a house. And if you want to jump from number 1 to number 6, is the wrong move. But let's just say that you're in step number 5 and then you want to go to number 6. Number 6 is buying a house. That's the right move to make. So that's the people that I'm talking to when I say, you know, perhaps getting into the market, it is the time for you. But perhaps maybe it's not. Perhaps maybe it's waiting. Who knows? But your job as a realtor, it's to nurture that relationship, to understand what is happening in the market, to understand where this market is going to be heading within the next couple months, couple years, so that therefore you can bring value to your clients. You can guide them through the process. You can tell them, miss, you know what? This is what I find in the market. You know, how are you doing? You know, well, I'm thinking about selling. Well, then you give them the value based on what you think it's right for them. If it's not the right time for them to buy, it's not the right time for them to buy. But it's your job as a realtor to understand that that is not the right time. And it's your job to continue to give them value. So I hope that this video finds you value. You don't have to be a realtor, by the way, to watch this video. I'm just sharing with you a little bit about how our business operates. But I hope that you find some value. And if you do, go ahead and click the subscribe button. Go ahead and give it a like and share with your friends and family. With that being said, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. And I want to thank you again for continuing to support the channel. I see that we have subscribers from all over the world. We will continue to give you more value, more content out here from the United States of America, from all of you across the world. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.